A frozen wolf. If you stop moving, the cold will petrify you. Imagine a village where the temperature can drop to minus 71.2 degrees Celsius. Here, just a few minutes outdoors can lead to frostbite, numb limbs, even death. After just over 15 minutes outside, my nose turned pale white. Ice crystals began forming in the cells and tissue started to die. If I endured another 5 minutes, the nose could become irreversibly necrotic. When you breathe outdoors, you'll hear a sound like dry grass being crushed. That is the sound of your breath turning into ice. This is the coldest inhabited place on Earth during the harshest time of year. Oymyakon. To survive here, you must wear more than 20 layers of clothing, totaling nearly 14 kilograms. Stepping out from a warm home at 30 degrees Celsius means facing a temperature difference of over 100 degrees. And now you will witness how truly harsh life can be. In a place where simply walking out the door is a battle for survival. The cold here doesn't scream, it's silent, but sharp as a blade. How much can human flesh endure? The cold here paralyzes machinery. Phones stop working. Cars left outside freeze completely in just a few hours. The ground is always frozen, so no vegetables can be grown. Why do people live here? How have they survived the winters for centuries? Starting from Moscow, it's a 7-hour flight to Yakutsk, then an 18-hour 900 kilometers drive. Arriving at Oymyakon at 2 a.m., the thermometer showed minus 60.5 degrees Celsius. A sense of smallness and isolation washed over me, and for the first time in my life, I doubted whether I could survive here. My nose hairs froze instantly. Each breath felt like needles piercing my chest. The air was so dry it made me cough violently. Oymyakon has about 800 residents scattered across just 1.5 square kilometers. Meeting someone on the street is almost impossible. Time itself seems to have frozen here. My skin began to sting, each fingertip pricked like with needles. It wasn't just pain, it was creeping panic disintegration bit by bit. My hands started to burn with numbness.
Is this real? Can human flesh be damaged this quickly?
Whether it's for better or for the worse.
Images of people who died from the cold here flashed in my mind. That thought made my heart race and breath heavy. I had never felt a cold that could scare me. Until now. Oymyakon. A village nestled in a valley surrounded by mountains. The cold is astonishing. Temperatures drop to minus 63 degrees Celsius, even minus 64 degrees Celsius. Because it's deep in a basin, there's almost no wind. The cold simply lingers and stays. Arriving here, I was overwhelmed, realizing I stood on permafrost, something I'd only seen in geography books. To survive, locals built centralized heating systems. A coal-burning boiler distributes heat to most houses via pipelines. This system must run continuously. A brief shutdown can endanger the entire village. Houses are built with special techniques. Heating pipes run through rooms for continuous warmth. The ground is always frozen. You think foundations can be built normally? No way. They must first lay large wooden beams to create a flat surface. Amazed by such clever ways of bending nature's rules. Floors have multiple layers. Thick wood. 30 centimeters insulation and a final finish layer. Walls contain up to 7 layers. Outer wood. Basalt wool insulation plaster. Mesh foam, another plaster layer, and finally interior wood. Triple glazed windows shield from the biting cold. Attics are insulated with sawdust mixed with soil. Along with the heating system, the cold seems blocked right at the doorstep. Most homes have an unheated vestibule for freezing food. See, this is nature's freezer. No electricity, no high tech, just the outdoor weather is enough. Meat as hard as stone. This is a true refrigerator.
Saw you walking by today with the sunset in your eyes.
A day in the world's coldest region starts early. A female farmer was already at the barn before sunrise. Her hands were red from the cold. I wondered, has she ever thought of leaving? Is there something that holds her here stronger than the cold? Here, farmers wrap the cow's udder in cloth to protect its sensitive skin from frostbite and to maintain hygiene. As the milk flows, each squeeze, each motion exudes astonishing meticulousness. In such extreme cold, even a minor slip can cause major consequences. Since pipes can't exist, they freeze instantly every morning. The cows are led to the river to drink. They enter the frozen hell and rush back before the cold becomes unbearable. Their fur quickly collects frost crystals. Thankfully, part of the river stays unfrozen thanks to underground springs. The freezing sensation creeps into my arms like icy needles. Just then, she resumes milking. She says her Yakutian cows produce very high-fat milk, up to 7 or 8%. In the warm barn, the scent of hay mixed with rich, fresh milk wraps around me. Though the ceiling has snow stuck to it, the inside remains warm. Steam condenses into small droplets floating above. What helps these animals adapt to such harshness? In this frozen place, only the special Yakutian horse can fully adapt. Today, it's around minus 50 degrees Celsius. These horses live outdoors day and night without heated shelters. Their small build conserves heat, thick, fat-covered fur insulates, and tall hooves provide stability on permafrost. They are a meat source. Their fat-rich meat is a vital nutrition source. A pack of horse meat is ready to be sent to customers. Hay is stockpiled from summer to feed the horses all winter. I tasted horse meat and liver. Here, people eat it raw and frozen. Frozen horse meat, rock solid, but full of vitamins. There are no vegetables here. Vitamins come from meat. Raw liver tastes slightly fishy, entirely cold, almost no sensation. In January, daytime in Oymyakon lasts only about 4.5 hours. By 3 p.m., it's already as dark as night. I remained silent, simply observing. The frozen nature is so quiet. I could hear my own heartbeat.
Get on your feet, this sights to see.
When my nose began freezing, the female farmer instantly noticed and warned me. She said the nose might already have frostbite. The cold slows blood circulation, causing vessels to constrict. Water in cells begins to crystallize and destroys living tissue. To protect your face, cover it completely, or any skin exposed directly to the air will quickly discolor and risk necrosis. In Oymyakon, even a tiny mistake may cost you frostbitten skin, or worse. She also shared a common treatment method. Mix aloe vera with alcohol, soak a cloth in the mixture, and apply to the affected area. Never rub it, because that will damage capillaries and cause ulcers. About half a kilometer from the village lies a frozen forest. Here, most people live by livestock, but for the hunter, the forest is everything. The hunter is a man of the woods. This is the hunting land, and this is the tent. The hunter lights a fire. Fire is life here. When checking the fishing net on the river, I almost stepped on a cracked ice sheet. Luckily, the hunter warned me in time. He said, "Be careful. One wrong step and you'll die." He laughed, but inside I was trembling. What if I'm the next to fall through that fragile ice? In winter, the hunter's father once fell into the river while on horseback. He froze instantly. With no shelter or rescue, He chose a quick death rather than endure the agony of freezing. Here, humans are tiny before nature. Every mistake is paid with your life. After pulling the fishing net from under thick ice, the frozen fish are sliced thin and eaten raw with salt. Winter fish are rich in vitamins, salty, rock solid. That's the taste of survival. The hunter placed a few pieces into the fire and whispered a prayer. Spirits of the land and sky, please accept this offering. Grant me abundance and protect me in future hunts. I followed him deep into the forest to hunt big animals. When setting traps, he carefully examined tracks in the snow. He found fresh deer droppings and urine. Quietly, he set a trap on a familiar animal path, covered it with snow, and used a dog's tail to erase all traces. Here, snow is a living book. He reads everything from the tracks. He knows how many species and how many animals live here. The newly set trap would be checked later. First, he checked the one set yesterday. A large hare had been caught. Dao. We stood in silence before its frozen body. It didn't die from a trap or bullet, a tiny creature swallowed by nature. In this white forest, anyone standing still for a few hours could become an ice statue. I realized nature here shows no mercy. That night, we had grilled meat. This region has many hares. During wartime, thanks to hares, the villagers survived hardship. Hare meat has no fat. Tender, lean, and sweet. Next morning, I was stunned to find a giant snake sculpture made entirely of cow dung. No joke. Over 360 kilograms of waste turned into an artwork in subzero cold. In a place where life is so fragile, how can people still create something so beautiful? Maybe art doesn't need ideal conditions. It just needs a reason to exist. Water systems here are nearly useless. Every pipe is frozen solid. People store water in large plastic barrels, just enough for washing hands and face. The rusty, old sink beside the house tells the story. No drains here. A bucket collects used water, and you have to carry it out. If you're not quick, the water freezes instantly. And guess what? Toilets aren't indoors, but in wooden outhouses. No heat, no lights, no water. Just cold that cuts to the bone. Human waste piles up into columns 2 meters tall. I remember my first attempt almost froze before I could finish. Here, even using the toilet takes courage. To cook, wash dishes, or drink. Clean water is essential. I never thought something as simple as collecting water could make me feel such deep gratitude. Here, every drop of water comes at the cost of cold and effort. People chop ice from the river, the only water source in winter. Can you imagine chopping ice at minus 50 degrees Celsius just to get water? They use sharp picks to break the ice, requiring speed and precision, or risk freezing. Once enough is gathered, it's loaded onto sleds. In the past, people used horses, cows, and a reindeer. Reindeer provided transport, meat, hide, and milk. For large families, this much ice lasts about 2 to 3 weeks. The ice is stored in a cold room or left outside. When needed, it's placed in a bucket to melt. Today's ice will be shared with neighbors. For bathing. Bathing here is a long ritual. First, chop wood, light the stove. They say elders bathe for 2 hours, younger folks about 1.5. The whole bathing process takes 4 to 5 hours. They bathe once a week, usually weekends. Sitting by the fire, waiting for shampoo to melt, I felt I was living slower than ever. That warm water was a well-earned reward after a long day's effort. Maybe because bathing is so rare, it becomes a ritual, a sacred moment. After bathing, you must dress quickly because you're stepping out into a temperature difference of up to 114 degrees Celsius. Going through such harsh experiences made me truly grateful for even the smallest things in life. After this journey, every drop of water became more precious than ever. The hunter had many animals, including a wolf completely frozen solid. He brought out his collection of animal hides. He said the wolf I saw today had been caught in a trap set earlier that morning, and it died because it couldn't move in the cold. He pointed to a fully grown bear hide and said, "These bears are killed because they attack livestock. They appear every year, and in greater numbers." His expression turned serious. "If you stop moving in this cold, you will die." I looked back at the frozen wolf. That sentence, here, is no metaphor. It's a survival law. In Oymyakon, vehicles won't function unless specially prepared. If left outside without continuously running the engine, they will freeze entirely. They use heat blowers to thaw cars, just like how we defrost food. No guarantee the car will start. Every part freezes. Metal, oil, fuel, even the battery. Tires turn hard as stone, not flat. The air inside contracts due to the cold. They install heaters and try to seal the car tight to trap heat. Even the diesel fuel in the tank freezes. That car over there, after 3 hours of heating, will it come back to life? Or has it fallen asleep under the ice like everything else here? Those lucky enough to have a heated garage can keep their vehicles safe all winter. A well-designed garage for cold. Insulated doors, airtight ceiling, layered walls, and even heat pipes. After 3 hours of waiting, they tried starting the engine. When the engine's first sound came alive, I didn't just see a car revived, but an entire land defeating the cold with sheer will. The thermometer needle stands still, like time itself is frozen. The trip to Oymyakon turned out to be a profound lesson. I was the one being taught, by nature, by the people here, the Yakut people, with ancient wisdom from the shamanic days. Do not fight the cold. They respect it and live harmoniously within the rules of nature. No one trembles. No one complains. Only chants of resolve echo, and a deep belief in the universal law. Nature gives as much as it takes. In Oymyakon, life is not a conquest. It is a sacred symbiosis.